Hello everybody. My name is Ntombana Mabena. Welcome to Kasi Moguls in the making. I run a catering business called Karisa Catering. The first thing, which is where we started, we do events. It could be parties, weddings, unveilings. So we provide catering services for your events, and I'm talking private events in this case. We both do offer the service, as well as if you prefer for us to even buy the groceries for you and take away that hassle, buy the meat, we do that as well. Some people prefer buying their own groceries, buying their own meat. We also cater on your facilities, and if you don't have a facility for us to cook on for the event, we can bring already cooked food in our pots with the serving station. Over and above that, we also then started doing corporate events. So whether it is tea time, snacks that you require, lunchtime, dinner that you require, we provide that. We have a team that is available to provide those services for any day of the week. Offering that we only introduced this year, which was inspired by the healthy living that I talk about, is we introduced delivery of packaged meals. So Karisa now delivers freshly cooked on the day that it is delivered, meals to your doorstep, packaged for your convenience in small containers that you can store in your refrigerator, food that can last up to 5 days in your refrigerator. It's really a holistic experience. It's not just about dropping off food. It's what it can do for your life and how it can improve your quality of life. I feel like it chose me. I've always thought I'd be in only corporate. I am in the corporate environment, and I always thought it was the only thing I was going to do. However, when I was vision boarding, I think in 2012 or 2013, I seemed to have come up with a business name, not knowing that I'd actually have a business. But the reason I say that Karisa chose me is because of the background of my late elders. My ancestors. My grandmother at some point was selling cakes to raise her children. My maternal grandmother was selling food at schools. So it seems that both my maternal and paternal grandparents were selling food at some point in their lives. My great grandmother was selling fruits and vegetables at the market. So there's always been that relationship with food and with nurturing and with catering. So that is the reason why I think that it chose me, and I think I'm merely just a continuation of whatever it is that they tried to start. My mom once told me that when she was 11 years old, she was selling boiled eggs at a train station. So I think food chose me. I didn't always know I'd have a business, and I didn't always know I'd be this passionate about it. So I do think I was inspired by my past and my great grandparents and my grandparents. I didn't decide. I always had the name in 2012 and not knowing what it would be. But a friend of mine in 2018, who actually is in the decor business, was doing an event. And the people who were the couple, it was a wedding or an unveiling, if I remember. No, it was an unveiling. The family needed someone to cater. And she had been shouting at me saying, for the life of me, I don't understand why you don't have a catering business, because we all know how well you cook. We all know how you love hosting and nurturing and taking care of people and making sure they are fed and happy. So why don't you turn that into a business? So I wasn't the reason it started. It was a friend of mine. And what we then did there onwards was just start doing events together every now and then. But really, it wasn't up until 2020, yes, the COVID year. It wasn't up until 2020 where I started going out there seeking for opportunities myself and seeing what is the market looking like and what is the gap that I can close. So ever since 2020, I can say I fully started being conscious of building the actual business. Two core inspiration themes for Karisa. One is that it needs to remind you of home. So whether it's an event or it's food we're cooking for you for your house, we wanted to feel like you are in your mother's kitchen. So it's all about the soul of food. It's all about how it makes you feel and the memories it brings back. That inspires our soul food offering. That inspires how I put together a menu like oxtail and samp. It's that warmth of winter that you want to feel when you are eating Karisa food. It mustn't feel like it's a takeaway. That's my core thing. Then the second thing is really nutrition. There's this golden thread about Karisa, about balanced meals. You know, you're not likely to find us offering you food that has 5 starches on the plate and 3 meats and no vegetables, and you know, the variety of vegetables as well. So even when I advise my clients, irrespective of whether they want their own menu or not, we will always advise based on nutrition, balance. And that is why we also have low carb offerings in some of the meals that we deliver, because I am trying to push people having a balanced lifestyle. And more than anything, I'm one of my biggest customers, because I am trying to work on my health and work on my weight. So because I'm trying to do that, I need to live it out as well, and it needs to show through in the offering that I give. It's doing things right. I think just even the idea of disappointing someone, and obviously especially in my first year, I had those where I was like, I don't like this, I don't like how it came out. Sometimes maybe not even the quality of the food, but if it's an event, for example, it's just setup is not looking the way I wanted it to, the team is not working, you know, just flowing in the manner that I would prefer them to be. So those things, maybe because I'm a perfectionist and perhaps the client won't notice, but I notice. So it's always the smaller details that kept me up. It was really never the profit. It was never whether we were making a loss, because I understand the cycles of business, but it was really more about, am I putting out the level of service that I intend on putting out? Am I putting out the quality that I want to put out there? So that stuff kept me up. Every time before an event, I don't sleep for a good 2 days, because I'm always just planning it in my head and thinking about what time do I want to be there, what experience do I want to create for the client. So really that's the stuff that keeps me up at night till today. First event, the unveiling. The family didn't know this because we were working from a space far away from the family, but it was the number of people that we needed. I underestimated how much hands. So everyone was overworking themselves. It was insane. I remember when we finished that event, we were sitting down on the floor. That's how tired we were. But that was the first event any of us had ever done. So there I felt like, oh, maybe I don't know what I'm doing after all. Fortunately, the service came through well, but I was just like, I can't do this to my people. It cannot be that this is how we work. We shouldn't have to work like this. So there I felt like, and then also the second thing is the fact that I have a job that I love, a job that I still enjoy. I still want to make quite an impact in that space. So for me, I'm not yet ready to transition fully into entrepreneurship. So sometimes it may be that my job is requiring a lot from me. It may be that I'm studying and it's requiring a lot from me. And then there's Karisa. And then I feel like, am I doing too much? So certainly in those moments it happens. It's the compromise. It's instead of buying myself or taking myself on an international trip, it's using that money to buy equipment. So more than anything, the first thing I learned in business was compromise. And it's not only compromise in money, but it's compromise in time as well. It's ditching certain events, fun time, because you now have to go do some research, you have an event. So that's really the biggest change that I've had to face in my life. I mean, as we speak, the current offering, one of my current offerings that I recently introduced this year, earlier in March, is that I no longer have Sundays to myself. And my family and my friends have had to understand that you really can't book anything with Ntombana on a Sunday. So those are the kind of compromises that I've had to make. So, but I think if you love something and you are determined, it really isn't anything to you. Write it all down, every single last cent. at the beginning of the business, I funded the business myself. So it's very easy to be buying things for the business, to be buying equipment for the business, especially for the events, the equipment that we use for the events. And when you're starting, you're spending so much money that you necessarily may not be recording all of it. But that was even the easier part. As an entrepreneur, you find yourself spending smaller amounts of money, but those smaller amounts of money accumulate to a lot of money eventually. The trips you make to have certain meetings, it's where you had to go to do a little bit of research. It's trying out different packaging for the food that you deliver. So it's very easy to lose track of the costs that you're spending and to split them between your personal costs and your business costs. So that is a money lesson that I've learned, because what that then helped me to do was to understand the real profit that I was making from the business, and not thinking you're making profit when you're not, especially in the first year. Once you start adding up and also trying to understand when you're starting to make that return on whatever investments you had put into the business, then you understand the real money you're actually making. It's the people you hire, it's really everything under the sun you can think of that is for the business that you may not be recording. So that was the biggest money lesson for me. I'm a spender. I love making money, but I also love spending money. I do the same thing in my business. I will compromise not having clothes just to spend on my business. So for me, it's the fact that I want my business to have everything it needs. So that on its own is really what sometimes I wish I could just stop and say, stop buying stuff for your business. Do other things. You know, you have so many other aspects of your life. It's okay if you're just starting up and you don't have this. As you will see when we walk through the journey of what a Sunday looks like for me, is that I initially only wanted to start this offering once I had the facility for it. But then I told myself, no, I can start this offering of delivered meals using the very kitchen of eKasi. I don't have to have the full-on cooking facility that I have planned for Karisa in order for me to start. So because I'm a perfectionist, you know, I would have then gone and spent money on that facility at a time when I wasn't ready. But I've learned the art of starting where you are with what you have. It's now having a clear understanding of the vision. It's having clarity. I'm very purposeful about this journey. I'm very intentional about this journey. So I know exactly where we are going. I know the various aspects of the business that I'd like to launch. I strongly believe that because of that energy that I'm carrying right now, it keeps opening up other opportunities. So that for me keeps me saying I don't see myself ever closing down this business, because I'm so excited about its future. You know, at this stage, I mean, we've recently, like I mentioned, launched a different offering, but I mean, I have other 3 offerings planned for the next 5 years. So that stuff keeps me going, and I don't talk about it a lot, but that's the stuff that really puts a smile on my face. And a lot of people may sometimes wonder why Karisa makes me so happy. It's because I see where we started versus where we are today and where we're going to be tomorrow. Oh, it has to be all of them. There is no way. I know people who are hard workers, but you know, because they don't particularly have the passion, and for them it's just about making a profit or making the money, it doesn't work. You have to believe in what you're selling. You have to believe in the service that you're offering. You have to believe in that field, that industry, whatever it is. You have to be passionate about it. Everything is really a combination of the 3. And I think anyone who thinks that just because I'm passionate about cooking, or just because they've gone to chef school, therefore they're going to have a successful catering business, I think they're in for a surprise. You kind of had to have worked very hard and go through a couple of hurdles. You know, it's not just about the cooking, it's also about managing the whole business. I think mentally, we downplay how whether you're in a business for survival or whether you're in a business as perhaps just exploring an alternative, how it can affect how you present in the business. Sometimes I think when you're doing business for survival, you'll really compromise on a lot for the sake of just getting the business. So people's journeys won't be the same. But I do think whether you're in it for survival or whether you're in it for exploration, at the end of the day, your mental space needs to be in it. You cannot be here and there. You need to be committed. It doesn't matter whether you have another job or another business. You need to be committed to it. So your mental space also, looking at the support system that you have around you, does it encourage you? Is it a support system that is an environment, that is toxic, where, you know, when you're making your mistakes in your business, your own family looks down on you, your own friends are not supportive of your journey? That all affects your mental state of mind. So you really need to work on yourself and be strong enough and resilient enough to be able to take all of those things. Emotionally, I can tell you that not everyone, even the people who genuinely really love you, will believe in your business. If anything, you need to believe in it more than everybody else. I am big on self-care. You know, for me, if even if you don't know me, if by any chance you happen to come across me, you'll notice that I play as hard as I work and I relax as hard as I work. I time out. I tell my friends I'm not available. Not because I'm going somewhere, because I want to rest. I have my self-care routines. I know what I do to take care of myself so that I feel better. I wake up tomorrow, and it's in the smaller things. We don't have to go on 5-day holidays to be able to maintain our energy levels. But also, I realize because I'm passionate about it, it energizes me. I only engage in things that I'm passionate about. The work I do in my corporate space, I'm passionate about it. Karisa, I'm passionate about it. I'm passionate about it. So I think that's my biggest energy driver. That's the thing that really keeps me going. And when I feel like I am really losing my strength, I can shut down and not answer phone calls for 2 days. I can do that. It's not because I'm depressed. It's not because I'm intentionally trying to ignore anyone. I need time to myself and I need to rest. So it's in those small ways that I've been so self-aware about what re-energizes me. But another thing that re-energizes me, because I'm passionate, when I feel low on energy, I pick up a piece of paper, I pick up my laptop, and I start jotting down ideas. What do I want to do in 2 years' time for this? How we're going to grow this aspect? You know, those things really lift up my mood. So that is how I keep myself going. You know, now that we've started these conversations, all of a sudden we are learning about the many beautiful offerings that already exist in Kasi. It's not ukuthi these things are not there. What is really exciting me is these businesses I'm learning of, you know, the people we are coming across. That is just so thrilling. And I think, oh my goodness, who thought of that? eKasi. Because can I tell you that it's not that townships don't have talent. It's not that townships don't have commitment. So if that is the misconception that I look forward to changing, that is the narrative that I look forward to changing. And also it's not that eKasi we are not willing to work together. It's that we don't know of each other. We don't know of our offerings, because I really think one of the things that are going to conquer eKasi and the challenges we have eKasi, and even simple things like crime and poverty, is collaboration. And that is the main thing we're aiming to gain from a show like this, is that collaboration and is building that network and also providing that platform.
Hey there, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to see more of our tasty videos, and do not forget to hit the bell so you can get them first while they're still piping hot.